Morning here in Camp Massatators, and I'm sitting here drinking the last of my coffee in denial of the fact I have to get out into the wind. I'm a little worried about how the waves are going to be considering what we hit yesterday. This boat's less than well. At least so far the waves don't seem too bad and they're going our way at least. A 3-hour tour, the canoe would be lost. You see the rain, Jen? So far so good-ish. We've actually, had the sail out for the majority. We just got around the corner and things are a little calmer, but we are sticking relatively close to shore here. The SS Danish and Coffee, yes, yes, please, is moving along at a reasonable pace here. As long as the wind keeps going our direction, we're good. If it goes the other way, we're stopping. But it's okay, Taters is having fun. Me, I'm like, big windy PTSD, and Taters is like, it's okay, I'm still young, I'm gonna live forever.
This is the way to cross a lake.
Matt doing all the work, that's the definition of how to cross a lake. And we're just getting around this point where there should be some sort of a marina, and then we're gonna hit our resupply here in Lake City. Kind of wondering what that is all about. And we are currently tucked in. We don't know exactly where we're allowed to dock here. So we're trying to stay away as far out of everybody's way as we can. And here, Taters returned successful with coffee and resupply food. Yeah, whatever.
I got a lot of north side so that we can be more compact for this longer stretch.
Please go back. I want pasta and yummy things. Okay, resupply acquired. Coffee acquired, but it's like a 3 out of 5. Like me in a relationship, I mean, it's passable, but there's probably better options. No? And we have blown a little more of the day than we would have preferred, but is what it is. Hopefully we can make up the time via sail. This allows us to have time to discuss the pros and cons of peeing in one's mud boots. It makes sense in context. So we can't put it on the video, but for context, we're listening to the Eric Cartman version of Sailing Away. Perfect soundtrack for this.
I like the original better.
Jen's wrong. That's why we listen to my music and not hers. Whee! 2:19, we made it across Lake Peppin, basically sailing the entire way, which has totally turned our opinion of this lake around. That initial bit was such a pain, we hated it. We're comparing it to Big Winnie. And then we just started flying.
After reaching the far end of Lake Peppin, pulled up on this beach for a break, and we found otter lunch spot. I haven't been lucky enough yet to catch the otter actually eating clams, but I've seen videos and it's adorable, so I can picture it.
So we're coming out of the lake and we still got this chop, which is kind of frustrating. And then you look over there and it's all glassy. I don't think we can go that way. We have to go in the main channel, but aw. I have successfully found Taters, the littlest turtle.
Oh, I see it!
We literally turned around in current so she could see it. Hey, little guy. So we're kind of figuring our eventual hotel stops are going to need to be places like that where we can kind of keep a closer eye on the boat. We're a little concerned, like normally we would go for bigger hotels when we stay that don't have an outside entrance because they're quieter, but we don't want our boat to go missing. And it is a known thing that paddlers have been targeted along the Mississippi, because I guess people know that we're transient, and people who are solo will hide their boats off in the woods while they go into town. And so if they see somebody paddling, people have in the past kind of like looked for where they were, backtracked to their boat, and stuff gets stolen. Hence why I'm on eternal guard duty while Jen runs into town and gets to buy all the snacks, eat all the snacks. I still think you went to ice cream at that last one. I've started pulling the camera out every time we go past one of these because periodically we have turtles that just book it over the top and are practically somersaulting down, which Taters absolutely loves. And I love videoing things that Taters absolutely loves. But like yesterday there was 6 of them at one point, and it was about twice as tall as that, and they just came down, and just as soon as we thought one was done, the next one came. He's slow compared with some of them. It was basically like pulling a switch when we made it into the river portion. Waves all disappeared. We're getting sunlight, which is good because the batteries can recharge. Feels kind of slow after all that fun last night going high speed with the sail. So we saw the Corps of Engineers working on something and moving dirt around. Seems like they're really trying to fight erosion in a lot of places. But we haven't been able to find a full explanation of what's going on. You can also see those rock breaks are very clearly artificial. So we are slowly being overtaken by this barge here, which is fine. We don't mind the barges. We're having fun watching them, and unless we need to cross the channel, they're not really a problem. However, that barge is probably going to get to Lock 4 around the same time as us, maybe a little bit before. A normal boat, if we're waiting behind it, seems to take about 30 minutes to cycle through the lock. These things take an hour and a half because they have to pack in all the barges, and they seem to like tie them down or something. That was why we had to portage Lock 3. Tom and Jackie are ahead of us. They went through Lock 4 a while back, and they said they ended up having to portage because there was a different barge in it. Plus side, apparently the Lock 4 portage is fairly easy. You can see Jen is paddling back there, and they're overtaking us, but slowly. There's not really much wake that gets kicked up. There's a bunch of churn behind them when their motors are going, but we don't get close behind them. The recreational traffic is way worse, especially those like pudgy yachts. We had one that seemed to intentionally try and swamp us after Lock 3. So yeah, basically no wake. And see, unfortunately this guy slowed down, and we've had the sail out, and we've like almost been keeping up with him, but I can't get Jen to go fast enough that we can actually beat him. That yellow thing in the distance we think is Lock 4. So once again, we have a tugboat. It got there before us. The lock never answered us, but the tugboat was not overly happy with us being anywhere in the vicinity. So plan is we are actually going to be going over there where we hear is the portage route around the dam. So I'm just trying to scout where we're going to go. We know the portage is over here because of Tom and Jackie. Unfortunately, the lock didn't answer us this time. We asked about it when we went through 2. And they said if they're busy, they don't always hear the radio. We've been told by others that calling them on a cell phone is less reliable than the radio. And we beat the barge around, kind of. Tom and Jackie are at Lock 5, and per them, from the lock, which is apparently talking to them, there is no way to portage around that simply, so they're having to wait. They were told 45 minutes ago, an hour ago. Fun times. And we have a little under 15 miles to Lock 5. Probably won't happen tonight since already after 6. Things haven't been too bad, so we've mostly been sticking to the main channel. Now we're actually heading off to a side channel. There's a community back over there. We have a track that shows people going this way, and we think we can find a decent camp somewhere back here. We don't think we can get through Lock 5 tonight. If you can ignore the sound of the dredging operation, this almost seems like one of the earlier bits. We're even seeing muskrats and turtles galore. Beaver. So we tend to keep going later, which gives us more time paddling at the best time of day, if you ask us, which is in the evening when things are often quite calmer and prettier. But it does occasionally bite us. It is currently a little after 9 o'clock. It basically seemed right about when we decided to call it, around 8:45. All the campsites disappeared. So we came back out to the channel because we thought there'd be more options, and now we are here with 2 tugboats passing, checking them out. We have found something that'll work. We don't know that the tugboats have seen us. They're just complaining about working conditions, not about the canoeists, or whatever we're being called. And this is not as nice as things we've been looking at all day, of course, but it works. And at this point, it's beggars and choosers. And we got lightning, bugs, and turtle eggs, and all sorts of things on our little island.
That was a really fun day, from the morning sailing across Lake Peppin, the fairly painless portage around Loch 4, and then the just magical evening, especially that part in the side channel where it felt like we were back to the headwaters section.
And getting yelled at by a tugboat.
And we're camped up on a little ridge between 2 channels of the river. Home sweet home for the night.